Welcome. I'm Sophia from Junkie Forever, and today's video is going to be my favorite products of 2022. This is part one of a two-parter series, and I had to do that because I have a lot of products. I have so many products that I had to split them. So the way I'm going to be splitting them is over $20 and under $20. Today's video is going to be all items that are over $20. And now that I'm looking down at everything, I think except for one fragrance, everything else is makeup. I have no skincare in this video, so please strap in, get a snack, get a drink, and let's get started. Let's start with foundation. One of my favorite foundations actually launched this year, and it is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is in the shade 4 Neutral, which is actually my Depths of Summer shade. I have already used up one of them completely. This was 3 Neutral, and this is more of a spring shade, late spring, early summer, fall shade, and I used it up. I absolutely loved it. I will repurchase this. I will repurchase this shade certainly, but I will try to figure out which shade works for me right now. I'm in between 1 neutral and 2 neutral, and as soon as I figure out which one I want to put my money into, I will buy another one of these. But yes, this is a beautiful foundation. It's definitely moisturizing in my opinion, and as a person who's using tretinoin right now, this was lovely on the skin. The next foundation that I love is the NARS Light Reflecting one. I have it in the shade Patagonia, which is actually too deep for me most of the year. I think this is like super depths of summer. I've been to the beach, or I've been super duper fake tanned kind of shade. However, I was still able to use up enough for me to be at the bottom of the N, at the top of the A here. I love this. It's very skin-like. The problem with this one is I got matched in store at Sephora, and their lighting is just really bad. It's just really bad lighting. So and I think I was also fake tanned when I got matched for it, so there was really no way for me to win there. I will be buying another one of these at some point, or I will just mix it with another foundation that is of a similar consistency just to see how that works. But overall, I'm really loving this foundation whenever I'm able to use it. It is very skin-like. Really enjoy it, and I think if you can get your hands on a shade that matches you perfectly, this is a beautiful foundation. It is a little bit drier down, I guess, less luminous than the Charlotte Tilbury one, but really love it. And the last favorite foundation that I just cannot stop using is this one. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have it in the shade 1N1. Yes, that is incredibly light, but it's what suits me best right now, and I really love it, to the point where I actually purchased this only about, I think, a month ago again, and I am right here with it. So I'm not even at the tippy top anymore because I've used it so much. I really love this. This is one of those foundations where your skin does look like skin, but it is still very long wearing. It's full-ish coverage, not too full of a coverage. I know that at some point people were saying this was super full coverage. It is not. Maybe because more full coverage foundations have come on the market since this, but I really love this one. This is one of those foundations where if I know that I need my skin to look perfect for many hours, and I don't have time to tinker around with, oh, which one is it going to be? This is the one that I go to. Really love it, really recommend it. If you buy Estee Lauder, this is a really good foundation. I just realized that my microphone was a little bit far away. Instead of refilming everything, I'm just going to continue with my microphone being right in front of me. I apologize for that, but let's continue. So let's get into powder, because the powder that I discovered this year, not even a long time ago, only about 4 weeks ago, is this one, and it's already holy grail. This is the Pat McGrath, let me read the full name, Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. This thing is incredible. I have it in the shade Light, and I have not done makeup without using this since I discovered it. I don't know why nobody told me how good this is, or maybe you guys did and I just was not listening because I was thinking, oh, well, I have other powders. How good can this possibly? It is so good. It is so good. I have larger pores right by my nose on this part of the cheek, and I have some fine lines, super fine lines, but fine lines nonetheless under my eyes. This is incredible. It sets my under eyes beautifully, brightens them the tiniest bit, so it's not looking like I have like really bright under eyes to the point where you can see me from like a mile away, and it blurs my pores. It just softens the skin. If this wasn't like 30 something dollars for this tiny bit of a powder, how much is it? 4 grams. I would use it all over the face. I might still use it all over the face because it's just so beautiful. I highly recommend that you try this out, especially if you can find it on a sale. This is incredible. If you don't buy anything that I recommend other than this one, yes, go, yes. This is incredible. I will literally never be without it again because it's incredible. I mean, I am speechless, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Just take from that what you will. Love it. Let's do blush next, only because I have so many of them and I really want to move them away from the front of the table. So the first one I want to discuss is probably the most affordable one here, and it is the Gen Nude Blonzers from bareMinerals. I absolutely love these. I have them in the shade Kiss of Pink. Let me open that for you to see. This is Kiss of Pink. It's absolutely beautiful. The second one that I have is Kiss of Copper. I really love this one as well. This one is my favorite in the summer. I don't really use it right now. I actually put it away. And the reason is because this gives me that sunburnt look. But I'm slightly more tan in the summer, so this works perfectly for that. I'm sorry for the glare. It's not very late in the day, but somehow it's late enough apparently for it to be really overcast outside. This is what they look like. This is Kiss of Pink. It's really light, muted shade, really beautiful. It's like, it's a je ne sais quoi kind of look where you don't know what's happening, but it's happening. And this is Kiss of Copper. Again, because it is so warm, I prefer it in the summer. Whereas Kiss of Pink, I actually probably can use year round, but especially right now. Both of these shades are beautiful, and I think these blushes are $25 each. I can't stop praising them, so I really recommend these. These are beautiful. The next blushes I want to talk about are actually cream blushes, and I discovered them this year. This is the Rose Ink Lip and Cheek Colors. This is in the shade Azalea, and this is perfect for right now for like that wintry look, that cold girl makeup look. As you can see, well, I mean, you probably can't see. I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing a tiny bit. Let me see if I can swatch it for you. Let's see. Can you see that? Yeah, it's definitely very, very bold, but you know, a little bit goes a long way. You're gonna enjoy that very much. The formula is fantastic. The other shade I have of this is called Heliotrope, and this one is an absolute stunner. As you can see, I've actually used a lot more of this. I really, really love this. This is one of those nudie pink shades that actually probably is best suited, or one of the best shades that you can find for someone who is fair. It's this one right here. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love this one. This one I will replace the moment I run out of it. The other one, Azalea, first of all, I don't think I'm ever going to use that up because it's just so deep of a shade. So it's going to be really well suited for anybody who is of a deeper skin tone. But this one, I would replace the moment I run out. The good thing about this one is actually that these, as you can see, these are two spots that you can push something in through and you can get a refill. So I really appreciate the fact that these are refillable. Of course, I definitely stained my blush right now, but I removed it. The last blush that is non-limited edition that I want to talk about is this Cheek to Cheek one by Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade Pillow Talk, and I absolutely love this one. This is one of those few blushes that works well regardless of what makeup look you do. It's just going to look really lovely with it. It doesn't look like very much really when compared to some of the other blushes that I showed, but this is a stunner. Let me see if I can swatch it for you. This is one of those rare blushes that will last you for a very long time and you will love using all the time. You can't see it. I'm trying to show it to you right here, but you can't see it. But on the cheeks, when you apply it, it shows really beautifully. It gives you that soft, flushed or soft blush look. It's probably a blush that I'm going to have forever because it takes so little for it to look good on me. I really recommend it. If you want to buy Charlotte Tilbury, by the way, you don't necessarily have to buy it on Sephora or Charlotte Tilbury's website on itself. You can also find this one on Asos, and I think that's actually where I bought it. This and something else that I'm going to show you. Nobody seems to know about this, but Asos carries Charlotte Tilbury. And a lot of times when they have a sale, like their 20% off sale, for example, you can get that amount off on Charlotte Tilbury. If they have a 30% off sale, I think usually they just limit Charlotte Tilbury at 20% off. So it must be a contractual thing. But hey, 20% off on Charlotte Tilbury is 20% off on Charlotte Tilbury. I'll take it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. The next item I want to talk about is technically a blush, though some people think it's a highlighter and you can use it as such. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pinkgasm. Let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this right here. I'm going to try to insert swatches for all of these. Those are really quick swatches, but swatches nonetheless. I really like this blush. This gives one of those very lit from within or blushed from within look. I absolutely love this one. Actually, I love this one so much. For some reason, I accidentally put it away somewhere. I'm going to put it right here in my makeup little area so I can use it, because I don't know why I accidentally put it away. Really, really love that. The last blush I want to talk about is actually technically a face palette, and is the Charlotte Tilbury limited edition Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette. It is such a long name, but I have it in the shade Fair Medium, and I think this is an absolute stunner. I really love this. I actually love this so much, and I've used it so much that I've worn off that Pillow Talk embossing almost completely. I think there's like 5% of what it looked like before left. I really love this. I love the highlighters and how they look on me. They're really soft. They're glow from within. I love this. I love to travel with this. I use this whenever I want to look glam, or not, but mainly when I want to look glam. Absolutely love it. I really hope that this blush palette or this face palette lasts me for a very, very long time, because it's an absolute stunner. And I think it should, because I think each of these has almost 4 grams of product. So I'll be fine. I'll be fine. This is a stunner. If you can get it and you were interested in it, I highly recommend that you do try to get it. Let's move on to bronzers next. Historically speaking, I haven't had good luck with bronzers, mainly because a lot of brands would make bronzers for light, medium, tan skin tones, but would not really address fairer skin tones. I'm sure they also didn't address people of very deep skin tones. So now this past year, a lot of brands have actually concentrated on launching bronzers for different skin tones. And so I took advantage of that, tried a lot, and now I have 4 that I want to talk about. The first bronzers I want to talk about are newest to me, and they're the Merit Beauty bronze balm sticks. I really love these. I have them in the shade Clay and Quince. Really, really beautiful. Let me show you what the shade Clay looks like in the tube. So it's a little bit deeper, so it's going to be a little bit easier for you to see. It is oval, which is fantastic, because now if I want to bronze my cheek, I can just go with the longer side, because it's just going to deliver more. And then if I want to bronze up my forehead, I can go with the flatter side, because I don't have a lot of forehead real estate up there. Really, really love these. By the way, there's quite a lot of product in here. You wouldn't think so. There's 12.5 grams of product, and this is how much ice I have left. And I've been using this. I've been using it for like, what, 3 months, I think. Really love this. I recently traveled for about a week and a half, and I only brought the shade Quince with me, which is a lighter shade. Let me show you what they look like swatched. So the top one is the shade Quince, which is a really light bronzing shade. And the bottom one is the shade that I just showed you, the stick that I just showed you, shade Clay. It's best suited for me when I'm slightly tanned. Really love these. The formula is very balmy, very easy to apply, very easy to blend out. I can do it with my fingers, or I can use the same makeup sponge that I just used to apply my foundation. Really, really beautiful. Really, really recommend these if you're looking for a bronzer. But even without that, really love this. I'm dying to see how I'm going to feel about them next year. I think I would probably repurchase them because they're that nice. Really, really like it. The next bronzer I want to talk about, I think everybody and their mother loves. I think everybody discovered it this year. It is the NARS Laguna bronzer. This is the cream bronzer. I have it in the shade Laguna 01, and it is an absolute stunner, of course. Oh, look at that. It's an absolute stunner of a bronzer. The packaging is beautiful as well. What I really love is how creamy it is, but not so creamy that it just goes all over the place. And also the shade of it. Look at that. It is beautiful. It's fantastic for a fairer skin tone. I think this works on me both when I'm a little bit more tanned and now. Let me see if I can show you the swatch. Can you see the swatch of it? So as I said, it's a little bit more cool tone, but still, as you can see, has a little bit of warmth. This is a little bit more pigmented than the Merit ones that I showed you, and I absolutely love this one. Really, really love this. I would repurchase this every year if I were to run out of it. I hope they don't discontinue this, because I love it, and I intend to repurchase this the moment I run out of it. Really, 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 really nice. The next bronzer I want to talk about also launched this year, and it is the Charlotte Tilbury cream one. I really love this one. This is called the Beautiful Skin Sunkissed Glow Bronzer. I have it in the shade 2 medium, only because the one light was way too cool toned. It really looked like contour on me, so I didn't go down that route. So I bought 2 medium, and if I use a lighter hand, it works beautifully. That just means that it's going to last me for a lot longer. Let me show you this swatch of it. This is it right now. As you can see, this is a very heavy swatch. I just went overboard because I wanted to show you what it looks like. So this is definitely a shade that can be used by light skin tones, medium skin tones, certainly. and I think it's beautiful. It's definitely giving you a warmth more than some of the other bronzers that I've shown you. This is a bronzer that I use mainly in the summer when I'm tanned, because of the warmth of it, not because of how deep it is, but because of how warm it is. Because when I'm cool toned like I am right now, or we're very untanned or fair, I prefer the NARS one. But really love this one. The formula on this is really nice as well. It blends out beautifully. You don't have to go overboard with it. Really easy to control that, and the mirror on it is stunning. The other bronzer, the last bronzer I want to talk about, I discovered this year, but it launched a very long time ago, and it is the only powder bronzer that I'm really liking, and it is also Charlotte Tilbury. What is the full name on this? This is the Airbrush Bronzer, and I also have this in the shade 2 medium. This is also something that I can control in how much I apply. This looks beautiful on the skin. Highly recommended. I didn't try this in one light only because it looked too light. I might actually go ahead and buy a refill of that, because these are refillable, as you can see. So I might just buy a refill and pop this one out and put the other one in. But overall, really love this bronzer. Really great. I don't know what took me so long to buy it. Maybe because it was very expensive, but took me forever to buy it. Really glad I did though. Really glad I did. The eyeshadow palette that I discovered this year, but apparently everybody and their mother has and enjoys and loves, is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk one. And you're thinking, what do you mean you discovered it this year? There's a huge pan in one of the shadows. Yep, there is. I bought this palette for my birthday, which is June 3rd. And I've used the Living Daylights out of that one shade. I've been using it in conjunction with something else. I love all the other shades as well, but there was a look that I was doing there for a while that used a cream stick shadow from Jouer, as well as this one topping it. And that's an absolute stunning look. Really love it. So glad that I found this palette. I know it's a quad, but it is still a palette. So glad that I found it. This is one of those palettes or quads, whatever you want to call it, that I can just pop into a makeup bag that I need to have for those like on the go, very quick looks where I'm like, okay, I know I can do a look with this one that is going to be stunning. I know that I can do a look with this one that's going to be amazing. I know that this whole thing is just going to work. This is what I would use for that. And if I were to run out of any of these shades, I would probably rebuy the whole palette. So hopefully I can find a replacement for that shimmery one that I can use before I have to rebuy a $54, is it, dollar palette quad? Yeah, but I would, because it's amazing. The next palette I absolutely fell in love with is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. This is an absolute stunner of a palette as well. Oh, this is heavy. Sorry, I forgot how heavy it is. I really love this. The formulation here is amazing. I've always been able to create a beautiful look with this palette, no matter what I do, no matter what I pop on my eyelid. Sometimes I'll just go in with either this shade on its own or this top one right here. I think it's called Babies. Whatever it is, this can create a lot of really beautiful looks, and I love it for that. There are two eyeshadows in here that I consider to be duds, and they're the cream to powder formula. I don't know, I just don't love it. I know a lot of people do. It is the shade Edgy right here and Instinct right here. Those shades are beautiful, but the formula is not my favorite. Everything else though, amazing. I actually also use these two shades right here, Black is Black and Aspiration, as eyeliners. I like to use powders or eyeshadows as eyeliners, and this is a stunning palette. Love this one. I highly recommend this one if you don't have it. The last eyeshadow palette I want to talk about is limited edition, sadly. I don't know if it's available when you're watching this, but if it's available, I highly recommend that you purchase it. It is a Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette. This is an absolute stunner. Let me show it to you. Not that you don't know what it looks like, but I'm going to show you why I love it. It is one of those eyeshadow palettes, just like the Charlotte Tilbury, where if you have this in your makeup bag, you can do so many looks. Well, actually, the Charlotte Tilbury, you can only do one look. With this one, you can do so many looks, and it's always going to look really good. No matter what look I've done with this, it's really pretty. So I highly recommend that if you don't have this yet and you can get it, that you do get it, because this one is an absolute stunner. I really love this one. Really love it, and I'm glad that I was able to get it. The last eye-related item I want to talk about is a mascara. It is the They're Real mascara by Benefit. I really love this. I've tried so many mascaras since I first tried this, and there's nothing that's been better than this or as good as this. I've tried so many things, and I keep trying, and I will keep trying. But this one's an absolute amazing mascara, and it's not even waterproof but stays on as if it is waterproof. Really love this one. This does beautiful things to my eyelashes. This one is empty right now. I do have one in a backup drawer, but I am using some other mascaras that I bought and opened already, and I want to use those up before I open up this one, but I might not be able to hold out. I really might not. This has been a favorite for like 10 years at this point. Whenever they launched this, I think I might have bought it immediately after, and I've been using it nonstop ever since. And I will keep using it as long as they make it, because this is stunning mascara. Always makes my eyelashes look really long. Let's move on to lips. This gloss is a favorite of mine, has been for a while, and it's mainly the shade that I love in this. Yes, the formula is amazing too, but the shade is a stunner. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fussy. I know that everybody loves that original formula. Gosh, what is it? The Fenty Glow, but I find that that shade is a little bit too deep for me, and it doesn't necessarily look good on me all the time, or ever really. I actually gave mine away. But this shade in Fussy is a perfect pink color, so if you have my skin tone and find that the Fenty Glow shade is a little bit too deep, so you don't love it but you love the formula, I highly recommend that you try this one out. This is an absolute stunner. I've actually used quite a lot of this gloss already, and I think I'm going to finish it off this coming year, mainly because I want to buy a new one and have a full one, because this is getting a little bit older. I don't like keeping lip glosses around for too long, because some of them go bad, and I love this one too much to let it go bad. The next lip product I want to talk about is the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in the shade Vanilla Beige. This is an absolute stunner. This leaves a beautifully slightly beigey look on the lips. Just my lips but better, certainly, but is moisturizing. So this one's a stunner. I highly recommend this one if you haven't tried this one. I also got their recent set. I have this lip butter balm in the clear version, which is vanilla. I don't know where I put it. I love that one too. I tend to use that one at night right before I go to sleep. I don't even have to put my fingers into it, which is amazing. This is what the top looks like. It's just a great applicator in my opinion. So I really recommend that you try these if you haven't already. But this one we'll keep rebuying because it's amazing. The last lip product I want to talk about went viral on TikTok, and there's a reason for it because it's stunning. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Whatever Walnut. This is an incredible shade, really beautiful. It is so beautiful that when I first applied it on my lips, literally first application, I finished applying it, logged onto Sephora and bought a backup already because it was during the Sephora sales event. So I really love this one. Absolute stunner. I have a backup of it already. It's one of those lip products that just looks stunning with or without anything over it. Sometimes I just use this all over the lip. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Recommend this. The last makeup item I want to talk about is something I discovered at the tail end of last year. I think it was in the last 2 weeks of last year when we were still wearing masks. And I just fell in love with it, and I love it so much that I keep buying it. Is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I have it in the smaller 1-ounce bottle, and I've already used up a whole one of these. This is my second one. I have very little left, and I have 2 in my backup drawer because they came as part of a set in this size, and it made sense for me to buy the sets. So really, really love this one. This is essentially, what do I want to call it? It's a hairspray for the face. You want your makeup to look the same all day. This will do it for you. There is nothing else I've come across, not even the all-nighter setting spray by Urban Decay, that will do it quite like this one. This is literally white pillowcase approved. There we go. That's all I need to say about it. My battery died just at the last item that I was talking about. So the last item I want to talk about is actually a fragrance, and it is the Armani Beauty My Way perfume. I absolutely love this. This is one of those items that I tried on with a sample, one of those little tiny samples that you get, and it worked because as soon as I finished that off, I went and I bought this one in a set. This came with a travel size as well, and I already have the refill bottle in my cart. I love this. This is one of those deep florals that is really very well suited for year round, but one of the few florals that works in the fall and summer. Absolute stunner. I highly recommend this one. And that's it for my favorite items of 2022 that are $20 and above. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful. Please share your favorites. I will see you in my next video, which will be the items that I love that are $20 and less. See you there. Bye.